What I want everyone to do is we're going to get in our sign signal stance, okay? The big thing here will be in our stance. Guys, go ahead and get in there. Stance. Big thing we want to give our sign back where our cup is, okay? The coaches will kind of walk around and be able to tell you guys, keep that left hand on that left knee, okay? So remember, we're blocking that third base coach from seeing the signs, okay? So your hand, your signal is deep where your cup is, okay? Remember, turn your right knee in a little bit so you block that first baseman from seeing as well. So we want to make sure that our pitcher can see it, our middle infielders so they can relay to the outfielders. Those are the guys that need to know what the signs are, okay? So left knee, hand on your left knee, blocking that. You guys scoot over a little bit. Scoot over a little bit. Hey, scoot over a little bit. Give these guys a little bit more room over here. If you're too close to guys, you can spread out if you need to, okay? All right, so this will be our sign giving stance, okay? So we may work on this, we may not at different stations. Big thing for us, left knee, glove, open, not blocking the pitcher, making pitcher, shortstop, second baseman, so they can relay to the outfielder, okay? Any questions on that? Okay. Well, we won't talk about sequencing and stuff, that's later on. I just want to make sure you guys know what a signal stance is, okay? I know where some of this stuff is super basic, but this is part of the game, all right? All right, so primary stance. Remember, we're not cookie cutter catchers. Not everyone's going to catch the same. Not everyone has the same flexibility. But what we do have is a primary stance, a good target for our pitcher to throw to, okay? So big thing we want for guys, after we give our sign, we're going to get in our stance. All I want you guys to really concentrate this weekend is keeping that glove east to west and keeping it below our left knee, okay? So our glove's not hanging out inside. It's not outside here where we got to work back to the ball. Once you get to find a good stance, work from the ground up. I like to put my glove on the ground and just lift straight up, okay? All right, so go ahead and get in your sign stance, signal stance. You just gave a fastball right down the middle, okay? All right, go to your primary stance. Now, we haven't talked about, when I was talking to Danny about, is keeping our thumb inside here, okay? Thumb inside of our hand. Close it and keep that thing loose so that way that thing can take foul balls any which way, okay? Now a good spot to put that, behind your ankle, right behind your right ankle for your primary stance. Secondary stance, we'll go over that in a second. All right, relax, relax, nice job.
Yes? How far in relation to the batter? Yep. I can stand the batter.
Yep. Great point by coach here. If he's a left-handed batter, we want to be able to kind of touch. The big thing in pro ball now is try to get as close as we can. Guys have a ton of movement, pitching harder than they ever have before. Guys have good movement. What we want to do is try to get that, when we're getting underneath, we should try to be able to touch that guy's knee right here, okay? So if I'm too far back and I can't touch it, I should be able to touch it. If this is the back of the batter's box, we don't want to think, obviously catcher's interference is a big thing, it's an error on us, but if we want to be able to get underneath the ball so we're not going out to get it, letting the ball come to us, we'll talk about that with receiving, but we should be able to touch that guy. If he's standing right-handed, should be able to touch him with his left, with your glove, okay? So remember, when we're doing some of these drills, I know our station will be doing some blocking, some receiving. We'll probably have the guys stand in so you guys can see how close or how far back you are. Understand? Did I get that? Okay. All right, let's go back to our primary stance one more time. Another thing I want you guys to really focus on, all right, you gave a sign, fastball, go to your primary stance. As I'm talking about this, we should be able to sit in this stance for a while too, guys. This should be a super comfortable stance for us. Pretty good. Everyone's got pretty low targets. I know it's early in the day, so as we go on, when you're catching some of these pitchers, I hope that target's there as well, okay? Target down a little bit. The other thing too, keeping our glove open, okay? You talk to any pitcher, they probably don't want to see our glove facing this way. They want to see a big target. They're probably not even looking at your glove. They're probably looking through you at different spots to be able to throw their certain pitches. Keep that target low, but also have that glove open, okay? It's going to help you probably catch the ball better, okay, than having too much movement. All right, you guys can relax. Nice job. All right, so any questions on signal, sign-giving stance, primary stance? Remember, these are just things. These are basic things. They're not something that we're going to sit here and tell you which way to do it, but we're trying to give you the tools to make you better at it, okay? All right, secondary stance. This is where it kind of varies. So after we give a sign, we just call it a breaking ball. There's the base. We're not just going to give away our sign. We'll kind of time it up differently. But I want you guys to think about, same thing. How many times do you guys see you give a sign here, and we pop up and our glove's up here, okay? And we're not looking for a curveball up here, right? Okay, not top of the zone. We're not thinking about that. I want you guys to really focus on when you get in your secondary stance is that this target is still low, okay? Target's low, below our knees. Unless we're trying to go up in certain spots, that's a different story. But I want you guys to think about keeping that target down, okay? Because remember, if that pitcher is looking at you guys and he's looking at your glove, if he's not trying to throw a pitch up here, then why would he put a target up here, okay? So in your secondary stance, I don't want your butt up. We don't want your butt down here. Find a good happy medium, something a little different than your primary, something that works for you where you're going to be able to catch, throw, receive, block from that position, okay? All right, call a curveball right down the middle. Sign giving stance. Go ahead and get in your secondary stance. Work on keeping that target down, nice and subtle move. The other thing about this, thumb inside, close your fist. We can put it here by our cup, behind our glove, chest, ankle, as long as it's not wrapped up behind our back, okay? That's gonna make it harder for us to get our hand to our glove when we need to throw, catch, block, receive, okay? So I encourage you guys to work. You guys relax, nice job. Another good thing about that, work on, you guys should be able to sit in those positions for a decent amount of time. That's what you're gonna be probably more in that than a primary stance depending on the pitcher, okay? So I encourage you guys when we're doing this camp today and tomorrow, find a spot, maybe that you're not comfortable, find a spot for your right hand, okay? Coaches will be able to see it. We'll be able to see it on, make sure it's out of the way, okay? Make sure it's not just hanging, dangling. Understand? Okay, so if you're not comfortable, if you haven't found a spot for it, play with different spots. Cup, ankle, right behind your glove, right by your chest. Find a spot for it, okay? It's super important. Because if you take a foul ball off that and it's dangling, you could be out a couple days, whatever. We don't want to see guys get hurt, okay? All right, one more time. Sign giving stance. Curveball right down the middle. Keep that target down. Secondary, go ahead. Pretty good low targets, nice job. All right, from this position, fastball high. Fastball high right down the middle. Yep, should always see a raise of your glove, okay? Should be even with wherever you're gonna try to catch it. Nice job. Pretty good. All right, you guys relax, nice job. Coaches, anything on that? Good, okay. So remember, we're just trying to give you guys the tools of the toolbox. So when we go out to our positions and coach says secondary, we know how to get there. He knows how to get there. And I encourage you guys to work on whatever one you're not comfortable with, okay? Giving stance, primary, secondary. We're gonna move on a little bit of receiving, okay? What's going on in the big leagues right now? What's going on with guys catching? Have you seen guys move their glove? What do you think's going on with the pitchers? What are they doing? What are they doing more than they ever have? Throwing harder? Exactly. So if that's happening in the big leagues, it's also probably happening in the minor leagues. It's also probably happening in college. Okay, you see guys, it's not just one or two good dudes that throw really hard on each college team. A lot of guys throw hard. Ask any of these guys that played. Guys are throwing harder, smarter. They have more technology these days. So what do we have to do? We have to combat that. Okay, so what we combat that with, in a relaxed hand, good target to wherever we're throwing. Okay, so you're gonna hear me say that a lot. I know all these guys probably say the same thing. We're gonna work from the ground up. Okay, so I want you guys to get in your primary stance. Take your glove off. Put your glove right on the ground. Okay, or your hand right on the ground. Primary stance, glove on the ground, hand on the ground. Okay, all we're gonna do is turn our thumb up. Okay, so our hand should look like this. Where's your thumb? Pointed down, right? Okay. Like I said, we're going to try to keep our glove east to west as best as we can. So our thumb is down. So when we work our thumb is underneath the baseball, okay? We're working. Okay? You guys can relax. Take a knee. Nice job. Got anything on that? Okay. All right. So a lot of the drills we're going to do, working on our thumb underneath, okay? You'll hear me say it all over and over and over again, okay? So we're not gonna keep side, elbow's not gonna be up here, nice and even, work through the ball, okay? So a big thing too, to combat that though, is when we go down, relax, whether we're dropping our glove and going, we have a little subtle movement here or there, left or right, is that we're always sticking the baseball, okay? So you'll hear me say that a lot too, stick the baseball. How many of you guys have heard that before? Okay? So you'll be able to tell, right, when we have all these machines, we have coaches throwing, we have whatever we're doing, sticking the baseball, have a soft stick. So our hands are soft, and then we stick it, okay? Soft, stick, okay? Understand that? So your hands are soft, and then we stick it, okay? If you guys can see, especially the younger guys, when you see a guy that can stop the baseball, catch the ball, that's the number one thing, but stop the baseball, it's huge. Coaches see that, they notice that right away, whereas we have guys that are dragging balls, slam dunking balls straight down, they're working from up to down. I want all you guys to work underneath the ball, okay? Thumb underneath, okay? So, are we working north to south, east to west? What are we thinking about? East to west, right? Okay, east to west. So what that means, what we're going to try to avoid is turning our glove this way, okay? This really isn't a strike as much as this pitch is. Same pitch, this or this. Also, it's going to reduce our thumb having an injury, okay? You talk to guys, all these guys know, when you're catching guys with velo, you're catching guys with movement, even if you know the pitch is coming and we turn our thumb over, it can hurt unless we have some protection with it, okay? So I challenge you guys, anticipate the ball wherever it's going to be and work east to west. Understand? Okay? I want you guys to think about that in any station you're doing, keeping your glove down, target down, working east to west. Receiving, when we have the drills we're going to do, we can have a little bit of sway left to right, okay? So what I mean by that is, if we're going here, and we want to cheat a little bit here, we're going to think this way. We want to try to square the baseball up to our chest, okay? So go ahead and get in your primary stance, sway a little bit east to west, okay? Feel the balls of your feet kind of sway east to west, keeping that target down. Nice subtle movement. Make sure you have a good base. Good base, subtle movement, moving left to right, keeping that glove east to west. Make sure that target's open towards that pitcher. All right, same thing in your secondary. Pop up in your secondary, move left to right. Little sway left and right. Keeping that glove in the center of your body. Keep that target below those knees. Target below those knees. There you go. Make that adjustment. Good.
The importance on why we're spending so much time.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, guys, good. All right. So one more thing while we're talking about receiving is why we're spending so much time catching the low pitch, focusing on the low pitch. Where do you think the pitcher's trying to throw the ball? Bottom of the zone, right? Below the hitter's knees, okay? And if we raise our target up and that's above that guy's knee, the pitcher is probably going to miss up rather than down, right? So focusing on getting underneath the ball, sticking that low pitch. If the pitcher's trying to throw it low, he's trying to throw it down unless we're trying to throw it up in the zone. That's advanced stuff. Trying to throw it down in the zone, the importance of keeping our thumb underneath, focus on that low pitch, okay? We want the low strikes. We want the borderline pitches on our side, right? But we want to have the borderline pitches be strikes. We also want to have the strikes be strikes. Understand? Does that make sense to you guys? So I'll challenge you. Some of these drills, we'll probably move your body. Be like, hey, move to the left a little bit. Okay, we're going to work on that borderline pitch. We're going to work on the pitch borderline left to right. Okay, we'll work on the high pitch. We're going to work on as much as we can because we're going to have a lot of time at each station. Okay? Everybody, any questions on that stuff? Good? Okay. All right, moving on a little bit of blocking. All right, so everyone wants to block. Everyone thinks that's one of the biggest traits. Okay? And the other thing we talk about, back to the receiving part, baseball, Major League Baseball, it's over 75% is receiving. That's why you see so many guys not as good as throwers anymore, not as good at blockers anymore, because you don't do that as much in the games, okay? They just want guys that are adequate at that, but they want guys to receive, okay? That's why there's always a good receiver on each team that hits like 170 every year. Good backup catcher, like Alex Avila, who's hit 180 the last 3 years, but he catches really well. They're jobs for the guys like that, okay? So what I want you guys to really think about is receiving. We're going to hammer out receiving. We're going to do specialty plays, blocks, pop-ups, pass balls. every kind of thing we can do. But receiving, over 70% of the game, okay? That's why I'm talking about that. That's why the importance of that, okay? So into blocking. Who thinks they're a good blocker? Okay, would love to see some more hands up. You don't think you're good at blocking? Okay, that's why we're at this camp. I love to hear it. Okay, so blocking comes from your secondary stance or primary stance. Okay, if you want to be a really good blocker, you'll block out there in the bullpen. Okay, for guys. Guys will see that. They'll be able to have confidence throwing to you. Okay, so big thing for us. We'll do some drills later. Ball right down the middle. Okay, do we think we need to jump out to it, kick back, or a combo of both? What's the right answer? What's that? Right, you can do whatever you want. Whatever way you do is blocking the baseball, okay? So if you're a kickback guy, if you're a knees fall forward guy, or you're a combo, whatever you do to block the baseball, the coach is never going to say anything to you. Am I right, coaches? They're going to be mad at you if you block the baseball? Is anyone going to be mad if that ball's in front of you? Okay, so whatever way you are, we want you to get down the quick as you can, okay? So when we go down the middle, what do you think is going to go first, our glove or our body? Glove? Okay. So when I go down, do my knees go down or my glove go down first? Glove or knees? Okay, sounds like half and half. Half and half. Okay. It also depends on who you are. All right. So most likely, you're going to lead with your glove and your body's going to follow. Okay. So your glove probably will get down before your knees. Okay. Now, when we go down, we want to have our right hand behind. Okay. You might see some guys be able to catch here with their glove down with their right hand here. Whatever, that's fine. But if you have this thing hanging out here for a foul ball or a pass ball or anything and it goes off here, coach is not going to be happy. So what I want you guys to do, stick your hand behind your glove right now. Secondary stance, hand behind your glove, okay? Glove straight down. All I want you to think of, put your fingertips straight down. Fingertips straight down. And all we're going to do is go in our blocking position, okay? Stay right there. All right, pretty good. Stand up, go back in your secondary stance. What we want to think about is hinging at our hips, keeping our hand behind our glove. We hear a lot of the coaches say this when we're talking about blocking anything. Take that chin to your chest, okay? Chin to chest. Okay, let's do that again. Glove straight down. Take that chin straight down to your chest. Go ahead. There you go. It was a lot better form right there. Not bad. So, ball right down the middle. Whatever it is, breaking ball, slider, change up, that spike, fastball, doesn't matter. We want you guys to think about having your glove down, fingertips down, taking that chin to your chest, okay? Watch the ball in with your eyes, take that chin to your chest, okay? Okay, ball to our right, okay? Ball to our right. We're going to be in our secondary stance, same thing. Throw your glove, your body's going to follow, all right? What I want you guys to do when you're in your secondary stance, think about pushing off your left toe, your left big toe. You push off that way, throw your body, you'll be able to block the ball. Probably gain a little bit more ground to wherever we're throwing or wherever we're blocking, okay? So remember, we're going to go here, we're going to push off this way, pop right here. Remember, we're not turning all the way here towards our body. We want to have the most surface area as we can. A little turn's okay, a little half circle. Gloves all the way deep behind where my cup is. It's not out here. Straight down here. Have as much surface area as you can. Bend at those hinge at those hips, chin to chest, okay? All right, so it's gonna be a little difficult. We're gonna go to our right here, okay? So everyone's gotta go the same way. So your right is where you throw with, okay? So push off to your right, push off that left big toe, slide that way, make sure we're not turning too much, okay? Ready to go. Fingertips straight down, best we can. All right, hop back in the middle. Now remember guys, when you're blocking baseballs, you might turn a little bit too much sometimes. If that ball's right in front of us and it's not kicking off going left or right, I think coaches are gonna be okay with that, okay? But to combat that, the biggest thing we wanna do in these drills is try to be perfect, okay? Try to be perfect, have that perfect practice. We'll take 6, 7 reps, whatever it is, try to block them all in the same spot, okay? Super soft, all right? So going to our left, that's the hand your glove's on. That's the way our glove's on, okay? Same thing. Push off with our right big toe, throw our body, and keep our hands down with our glove behind, okay? Going to the left. See what we can do. Ready, go. Not bad. Keep that hand behind. Here you go. Throw your glove, body will follow. All right, you guys can relax. Nice job. All right, I know that's a ton of information that we're throwing at you guys, but we want to give you all the tools to the toolbox, like I said over and over again, okay? Remember too, big thing we can practice while we're going off machines, while we're in games, is blowing out, okay? So if we're right down the middle here, I want to blow all my air out to soften my body up. Blow that thing out. Make sure you can soften up your core, where you have your chest protector on, whether you're wearing an Easton, Marucci, Nike, All-Star, whatever. Blocking the ball right off that bumper right here, right off that bumper, okay? Try not to get that ball off our neck. That's the best thing we can do. I mean, sometimes it's gonna happen. If we can get that ball right off our bumper right here, we're gonna be okay, all right? Catchers, we gotta be tough, man. We gotta be tough, all right? Blocking sucks. It's part of the game, all right? Any questions on blocking? Okay, pretty good. So remember, like we're doing this stuff, we're gonna help you guys out. We're just giving you all the information that we can before we hop out and do our drills, okay? Next thing we're gonna talk about is our footwork, okay? How many guys like throwing guys out? Nice, everybody, love it. How many people have a good arm? That's right, you wouldn't have a good arm. If you don't have a good arm, you're probably not a catcher, okay? That's just the name of throwing guys out, coaches. You guys like throwing guys out? Exactly, it's fun. All right, do we throw a 4-seam, a 2-seam, a sinker? What do we throw down to second base, third base, first base? What do we throw? 4-seam the best we can, right? Are we always gonna have a 4-seam? No, exactly. So when we're practicing, when we're throwing, you guys are doing throwing outside or whatever, make sure we're practicing with a 4-seam, okay? A lot of times you see guys grab a baseball and I'm like, dude, you need to throw a 4-seam. I don't understand how that's not being taught. So I'm teaching you guys 4-seam. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seams on the baseball. We're gonna try to grab it here, try to stay through our partner wherever we're throwing, okay? Now, our footwork, our direction of where we're throwing. If we're throwing to second base, do we want to go backwards or do we want to go to second base? Exactly. So when you have like lines like this in a gym where you guys are practicing, or you have, you know, you're on the football field or whatever, or a batter's box, even a batter's box, at your baseball academies or wherever, love this drill of just lining up here, seeing where our feet are here, where I'm going to line up and make sure I can check myself to where my direction's going. Same thing if I'm throwing to third base. Here, right, left throw, okay? So what I want you guys to do, second base, for you guys in the back, I want you to make sure that we're gaining ground towards our target. You'll hear us say that all the time. Coaches are gonna say it all the time. Here, right, left throw, okay? This jab foot is gonna get down as quick as possible, gaining ground to wherever we're throwing, okay? So, I want you guys to stand up. Imagine that we're playing catch with our partner. All we're gonna do is go here, we're gonna right foot, left foot, turn our shoulders towards our target. So I'm second base. You guys are over there, same thing here. Right, left, throw, okay? Do a couple on your own. Make sure we're breaking our hands, having a short arm action. Slow and steady, slow is better, slow is better. Making sure we're gaining ground towards our target. Right, left, throw. All right, hold balls, hold yourself, okay? What I saw a lot was guys just going like this, here, standing up straight, okay? Be athletic, like when we're doing your throwing program outside, perfect way to start doing some of this stuff before you actually do the drill work is staying in our legs. So you're catching the ball from your partner here, you're going here, right, left, throw. Okay, reset, throw to my partner, whatever, okay? I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Oh, ball's over here, right, left, throw, okay? So this time through, stay a little bit more active in your posture, stay a little bit more locked in. Go ahead. Couple to second. There you go. Staying low. Short arm to second. Much better posture. Nice job. Nice job. All right, hold yourself, hold yourself. The other thing too, best we can, have that left elbow towards our target, okay? Don't have this elbow down here. Don't have it flying open. I want you guys breaking your hands right towards your target, okay? All right, this time to third base. So third base is going to be over there. For you guys, you guys know where third base is. Remember, we're not turning towards right here, right left at a 45, okay? So same thing here. You're going to imagine you have a ball in your glove, staying athletic here, right, left throw, okay? What I want you guys to think about when you're throwing a second, when you're throwing a third, you're throwing downhill. How many guys pitch? So what do you guys pitch off of? A mound, right? So a mound goes down, right? That's the same way we're throwing the bases. Staying our legs, think about throwing downhill, okay? Over-exaggerate it, staying low, having good posture, feel like you're throwing downhill, okay? All right, go ahead, third base. Staying low, third base, staying low, throwing downhill, there you go. Good target toward wherever you're throwing, left hand going where you're throwing. Right, left throw, think about that. Same way you throw, right, left throw. Good power position, right, left throw. There you go. All right, hold yourself, nice job. So big thing and I want you guys to think about, throwing downhill, gaining ground to wherever we're throwing, okay? All right, first base, hips and shoulders, okay? So first base, over here, right hand, okay? Other way. All right, so sometimes you'll be able to throw off a knee as you get older. Sometimes we gotta throw behind the batter. That's usually where we're gonna throw. We're not gonna jump in front of the guy, okay? It's just not too much time. So what I want you guys to think about is why catchers are the best athletes on the field. We have quick feet, we have quick arm, we're smart, we're aware, we're the quarterback, we're the commander, we're the chief, we're everything, okay? We're the only player that can see the whole field, right? So you can see a guy getting an extra secondary at first baseman calls a pick, or you already know you're throwing over there. What I want you guys to think about is turning your whole shoulders and your hips at the same time. So we're going here, we're anticipating it, we're under control, okay? So we're under control, turning our hips and our shoulders. We're not turning just our hips and throwing right here. I want you going here all the way through. Understand? All right, so now I want you guys to do this from your secondary, okay? Get a couple good reps. Go ahead. Turn those hips and those shoulders. Don't turn them halfway. There you go. You don't have to do the arm action, just come to a good power position. There you go. Nice. Not bad. One more good one each. One more good one each. Nice job. Any questions on that stuff? I know.
There's a righty batter, would it have you better to take maybe a step back and go to third?
Yeah, we're always going to go behind. You don't have to step too far back, but you want to stay in line.
Slight.
Yes, slice, that's okay. Yeah. Good question, guys. Remember, especially younger guys, when you're throwing to third, even if that guy, he takes a swing, a slight step back's okay. It's the same thing. You're doing your right-left throw, okay? So remember, we're never throwing in front of the batter, ever, okay? Just don't do that, because that's just going to take too much time. You're not going to have time, okay? Good question. On that. And I know we're doing a lot of stuff at the same time, but we'll explain it when we break into our groups and stuff if you have any other questions, okay? What was my sheet? All right, guys. All right, so those are a lot of the physical traits of being a catcher. Footwork, blocking, receiving, everything, okay? What do you guys think about some non-physical traits that we want to accomplish as a catcher? That's right. So, like we said, we're the quarterback, commander-in-chief. We have to be loud, okay? I know some of you guys are quiet. We have to be a communicator to be able to know every play, what's going on, because we're the only person that can see the whole field for what it is. We're never seeing it at an angle like everybody else, right? You're behind the plate, you can see the outfielders, you can see the infielders, you can see everybody. So what you guys need to do is we're going to practice some of that stuff is being loud, being a communicator, a visual and a verbal, okay? So a visual, using our hands. Hey, getting over. Visual, showing them. Verbal, telling them exactly what to do, okay? You got to remind guys of what to do, especially pitchers because they're not very smart, okay? That was a joke. You're supposed to laugh. All right, there we go. All right, so remember, a lot of guys you play with, they're not the brightest. We got to be the brightest, okay? We got to be the smartest out there telling guys what to do, okay? So communication, huge. Great physical, non-physical trait. What else? What else we got? Situational awareness. Right, thinking ahead, right? Thinking plays ahead. The older I got, listening to myself and knowing exactly what to think, anticipating things are going to happen. I'm anticipating this guy might be bunting here. I'm anticipating that this situation might happen. This guy might be getting a huge secondary, so I might backpick on this, okay? So the older you get, the smarter you get, but situational awareness, knowing that a bunt might happen, knowing that the coach is telling you, hey man, you need to know what's going on a bunt. Make sure you're looking in the dugout. I'm locked in here. I'm thinking ahead with him, thinking along the lines, first and third. Coach, what are we doing? Play 3? Okay, got it. Here we go. Understand, you got to make sure you're thinking along the line. You're the third coach out there, fourth coach. However many coaches you have, you're the extra guy. Understand? How do you handle adversity? Okay? I know the coach will probably tell you this stuff, but when you are a catcher, you're the guy that's involved on every play. You are involved with every play. You are catching every ball from that pitcher. In between innings, you're involved on every play. You're backing up a base, you're directing traffic, redirecting the ball, whatever it is. If you go 0 for 4, you just struck out, you had to put your gear back on, coaches want to see how does that guy handle that situation getting back behind the plate, okay? If you're a catcher, you have to wear the gear, put your mask on, do everything that other guys don't. They just grab their glove, they go out there, they can be kicking dirt, you don't even know what's going on. You guys are behind the plate, you got to lock in because you're a defensive player, okay? You got to lock in, you got to flip that switch, okay? A ton of guys I play with, terrible, they wear it all over them, they miss balls, and I've done it plenty of times, okay? You ask any guys that played, I'm sure we've all done it. We've taken our at-bats out to the home plate, it sucks, okay? But it looks really bad when you like miss a pitch, and that's our job, to catch the ball. Okay, so I want you guys to focus on that. Take your adversity, especially if you like miss balls and drills and stuff. Just get the next one, man. Coaches don't want to see you dragging your, sulking around or whatever, being upset. Making sure we're locked in on the drill. If you miss the first 3 balls of a machine or something, catch the 4th one. Okay, they just want to see you trying. Okay, everyone wants to see you trying. Try your best. Okay, this game's hard. What else? What's another non-physical trait? Anybody got anything? Body language, correct. Goes along with adversity. Same thing. We don't want to see guys sulking. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? But if we can control, we can control. You're at bat, you just struck out, you put your gear on, you flip that switch, you're going out there, you're being a big body for everybody, letting everyone know that you got the energy, you're back there. Bring the energy every day. Bring the energy every inning, okay? A lot of guys can't do that, and that's why they don't play baseball anymore, okay? Baseball is a really, really, really hard game. You got to be mentally tough, okay? Things happen on and off the field, no matter whatever sport you play in life. But for 3 hours a game, 3 hours a day, if you can focus on that game, you're going to be better off, okay? Body language is huge. Coaches want to see guys that have energy, running on and off the field, getting guys on the butt, getting them up, picking them up, okay? Take your glove out to guys, whether you're going to play another position. We want to have big energy. We'll say it a lot. Big energy, okay? When you're running station to station, have energy. In between reps, have energy. Okay? Don't just be the guy that's just hanging around. He watches 3 guys go. You get up there and you go, what are we doing? You're not paying attention. Okay? The other thing with the body language, is it fake? Is it fake energy? Okay? Be authentic. Be the same guy every day. Don't be one guy, rah-rah guy one day, and then things aren't going well and you're just sulking and sitting on the bench, melting into the bench. Okay? Be the guy that's on the fence, ready to roll, hopping in and out in between innings, anticipating, doing all the right things. Okay? Can he slow the game down when the game speeds up? Does anybody know what that means? Okay. Slowing the game down when the game starts going out of control, starts spiraling out of control. Shortstop makes an error, catcher wasn't backing up first base, guy goes to second, right fielder comes in, throws the ball, guy goes to third, out of control, okay? We see it all the time, especially in baseball or showcase stuff where you just see people just throwing the ball all around, right? Especially in college, it's really bad, okay? Pro ball doesn't really happen as often, but it happens. So can that catcher slow the game down when the other team's hitting the pitcher really hard? Can he go out to the mound? Can he have a presence? Slow the game down for that pitcher. Talk about something other than just throwing strikes or getting ahead, okay? Make that we can slow the game down when it speeds up, okay? If you have 3 pass balls in a row, can you refocus? Find that focus. Find that focus. Find that whatever center of gravity or whatever you have to do to make sure you lock back in. Understand? You guys understand that? One thing as we go on with this stuff, guys, if you want to practice something, if you want to do a 1 knee stance, I don't have a problem with it. Coaches may have a problem with it. It doesn't really bother me. But if you don't catch the ball from that stance, then we're going to have a problem, okay? So I want you guys to focus as best. I know it's kind of off topic, but focus as hard as you can on catching the baseball today. See how many balls you can catch. Okay, that's a big thing. You're in a pro baseball game, you're in a college baseball game, anywhere, we have to catch the baseball, right? Does it look weird if we don't catch the baseball? You look like a golden retriever running back to the backstop instead of a receiver, okay? So you don't want to be that guy that's running back and throwing the ball. Okay, so if I want everyone to focus on every drill, whatever we do, when we're playing catch, we're doing drills off the machine, catch as many baseballs as we can, okay? When you're in a game and you got to catch innings, you got to catch new pitchers, you got to catch guys in the bullpen, catching over 200 and 250 balls a game, okay? When one guy drops a ball, it's like, whoa, what's going on, okay? When you drop a ball like 5 in a row off a machine, it's like, what are we doing? Are we trying, okay? So I really want you guys to focus on that, okay? Focus on each rep. Get as much you can out of this day as you can, as much out of this day as you can, okay? I know it's a lot. I did this last year. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of reps. It's hard to focus all the time. If you need to take a mental break, just kind of step off to the side, like take 30 seconds and then hop back in, okay? We'll be doing a lot of reps. You guys will probably be very tired at the end, but I want you guys to think about how important this is to all-around game. It's not that many times we get as many catchers, many catching coaches as we can to have a great clinic, okay? Dan, you got anything else before we hop in?
Glad you guys could be here. We're obviously looking forward to working with you guys. Pay attention, okay? If you have questions, ask. Okay, we're here to help you. Okay. Luckily at this station we're indoors. Okay, we don't have to suffer with the cold weather. Okay, so take advantage of it. We're gonna get to do some video. We're gonna work on receiving, blocking, all these things. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of moving around. You're gonna be tired, okay, but hopefully you get something out of it. And we're excited to get started. Thanks for being here.
All right, so the other thing, guys, specialty plays with the coaches outside, those are just as important as receiving, catching the ball, blocking the ball, playing catch with the all that stuff. You get to do everything today. And it's very important. You do that stuff in spring training, you do that stuff in college. The pitchers don't understand is like when you're doing PFPs, you're doing all that stuff, you talk to anybody that goes to college, you do that stuff for like 30 minutes a day. In pro ball, you do the same thing, 30 minutes a day. You run through stations just like this. So when we're doing the catching stuff, pay attention on the bump plays, okay? Work on your footwork. You don't have to throw everything as hard as you can. Focus on that stuff. Focus on your footwork. Do the right things. Listen to these coaches. These guys are very knowledgeable. They know when they know what's going on. They know how to teach. They know how to coach. They will help you if you ask questions, okay? So the big thing I want you to do, especially outside, I know it's cold, but focus on the footwork. Take your time. Don't go 100% from like the get-go, okay? Take your time getting into it, 70, 80%. Maybe by the 3rd or 4th rep, you're at 100%, okay? Make yourself laugh. On the receiving and blocking stuff, we're going to go over some things before we just hop on a machine. Everything we do is a progression. We're not just going to jump into stuff, okay? We wouldn't just be like, hey, man, go catch some bullpens. We haven't even warmed up or anything, okay? So what I want you guys to understand is that we're going to try to take you through what it's like to be a catcher at upper levels, college, Division I baseball, and coaches are going to get you guys locked in, okay? So we're doing a little bit of everything. I know we're talking a lot right now, And once we get moving, we'll be talking and moving at the same time. Okay? Got anything else to add? Good?
Take your time, okay? Don't feel like we're pressuring you into figuring things out right away, okay? Some of these things are going to be new, things we're going to teach you, things we're going to talk about, okay? Be open to learning, okay? But don't feel like you have to get it right away. It's a process, okay? We've been doing this our whole lives, okay? He got to play 10 years in minor league baseball, okay? He can tell you right now, up until he was done playing, he was still learning things, okay? It's an ongoing process, okay? So it's going to take time. Okay? Just don't feel like you have to rush into it, okay? We're here to help you grasp the information, okay? And we're going to make sure you're doing it right so that as you go and you start your season and playing and just continue to work on these things, become a better player, okay? Work on it.
You guys got anything?
Guys, listen to your arms too.
Yep.
I don't know how much throwing everybody's been doing, but just listen to your arms. If it's starting to hurt a little bit, just let the other coaches know.
You guys got anything?
Catch your ball from playing, you know it's cold out. Just work through it.
Love it. All right, I'll leave you with one more thing, and then we'll probably get a little stretch in before we hop outside, okay? Because I know we'll break into our groups here in a little bit. So the other thing about being a catcher is we got to be mentally tough more than anyone else. I know everyone says this, like, hey, man, you're a catcher, you got to be tough, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think anyone else is, like, taking balls off their arms, catching balls, their thumb's about to fall off, receiving balls, you know, getting the most work in. So just remember, if you guys want to do this, you got to love to do it. You got to love it, okay? Not a lot of guys can do this. You see guys all the time that transition to be a catcher, and they can't do it. They, you know, something happened where they caught a ball wrong off a machine. They don't want to do it anymore, you know, whatever. You guys are the most mentally tough people on the field, off the field. But you got to want to do it, okay? You got to want to learn. We can't do everything to tell you what to do. We'll give you all the information that we can, but you have to want to do it, right? You have to want to do it. I can show you the how-to, but you got to have the want to. Okay, so remember that. Whatever you're doing, you got to want to do it. Okay? We got to be mentally tough when we're outside. You're going to be playing college baseball when it's cold. You're going to be playing your probably tournaments that are coming up. It's going to be cold. Okay? You keep moving around, you warm up a little bit. Okay? It's part of the process. Okay? It's a progression. Like we said, Coach said, when you're throwing, take it easy. There's no scouts here to sign you or anything. It doesn't matter. Okay? Nice four-seam grip. We'll focus on what we're focusing on. Don't try to blow your arm out where you can't throw for the next 4 stations or whatever we're doing. Okay? All right, let's get a little stretch in. Get these guys going.